يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Dearest, beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, welcome to the Electric Mosque's presentation of the teachings of Islam. And I'm your friend, your brother, Hajji Dr. Roshan, making this presentation on this, the Electric Mosque. I am a bit away out of the office, in my residence. Can't record outside of due to certain noise and construction and so on taking place out there. And so I'm doing a recording here in the office of the residence, where sometimes I do my recording, and you may recognize the place. I still have one or two more parts on the divine being, but I wish to today, as I'm away from that book and the markers, I have found on my desk here spiritual notes to enrich our lives based on the teachings of Islam. Strange enough, Institute of Islamic Studies and Publications, Paramaribo, Suriname. There's some beautiful writings here, and I will like to bring some of the messages here to you. Golden qualities: be kind and merciful to humanity, for all are his creatures. Do not oppress them with your tongue or hands or in any way. Always work for the good of mankind. Never unduly assert yourselves with pride over others, even those who are placed under you. Never use abusive language to anyone, even though he abuse you. Be humble in spirit, kind and gentle, and forgiving, sympathetic towards all, and wish them well, so that you should be accepted. Accepted by whom? By Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Do the right thing and continue. There are many who pretend to be kind, gently, and forgiving, but inside they are wolves. There are many on the outside who look pure, but in their hearts they are serpents. You cannot be accepted in the presence of the Lord unless you're pure, both on the inside and the outside. If you are big, have mercy and not contempt on those who are small. If you are wise and well versed in learning, serve the ignorant with words of wisdom. Never desire to bring disgrace on their ignorance by trying to show off your own learning. If you are rich, instead of treating them with egoistic and scornful pride, you should serve the poor. What beautiful wisdom here in the teaching of Islam. Beware of the path of destruction. Fear the Lord, be righteous, and do not worship the creation of Allah. Turn wholly and solely to Him, so that you lose interest in this world. Become entirely His, living wholly for His. Indeed, He is the Holy One. Every morning should be a witness for you that you spent the night in righteousness, and every evening should be a witness for you that you went through the day with the fear of Allah in your heart, bringing light and life to others. This is taken from Holy Quran 91:110. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God Almighty, the most gracious, the most merciful. Consider the sun and his light, and the moon when she borrows light from him, and the day when it exposes it to view, and the night when it draws a veil over it, and the heaven and its make, and the earth and its extension, and the soul and its perfection. So he initiated to it by inspiration its deviating from truth and its guarding against evil. He will indeed be successful who purifies it, and he will fail who corrupts it. Friends and family, so beautiful. He will indeed be successful who purifies it, and he will fail who corrupts it. An evolved soul must bring, like the sun, life and light to others. He must bring them out in the darkness of ignorance, impiety and righteousness. He must energize those in lassitude, nerve them up, and cleanse the world of all that is impure. Most of all, of course, do not possess this inherent light. We must borrow it, like the moon from the sun. We don't have the light of the sun in our hearts, but nor does the moon. Nor does the moon produce its own light. It borrows from the sun's reflection and rays. So scientific, ladies and gentlemen. Directly from God. Borrows from the sun, from those more favored. These great men who received the light directly from God at a period of times when the whole horizon of the world had become darkened. We should enlighten the world with those great luminaries of divine love pass away, just as the moon does when the sun disappears. So what we have been told here so very beautifully, that the very way the moon borrows and shines itself from light of the sun, we must look upon the intellectual, the wise one, the masters, the teachers, the educated ones, so that we may draw from their light, like the moon has done, and then spread it around. Man, like the day, should arouse others from the drowsiness of inactivity and inertia. He should put them to work and invigorate them against despondency, hopelessness, and fear. He should infuse a new spirit into the world. When his fellow men become tired and fatigued, he should approach them as if with the wings of night to give them rest and comfort. If his inspiration brings the latent faculties of others into operation, his kind words and deeds should refresh them and enable them to continue their work with a new spirit and apply themselves to the new avenues of exertion. So amazingly, beautifully put, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. And I move on with this beautiful spiritual notes. Gratitude. We are told that we as a people, that we as Muslims, that we must always show gratitude in all humanity. Be grateful to everyone, to your parents, to your teachers, to your scholars, to your neighbors, even those who give you a difficult time. So you're not looking for vengeance, so they will bring out the generosity and the kindness of your heart to beg forgiveness for them. To the grass and the sea and the sky and the air and the waters. Everything we must give gratitude for, ladies and gentlemen. And let me read and give some points. In many of its verses, the Quran shows us the countless blessings which man has at his disposal in this world. It also shows us how ungrateful man can be despite the abundance which he has in his life. And some of the verses are, but I want to tell you about the air that we breathe. Every time we take a breath, our heart should say, Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, that we are able to breathe. If you can't breathe and you fall sick and you're dying and you're gasping for that air, then you know the pure importance of that air, the grass that produces that air, the waters that produces that oxygen, the sky, the sea, the earth, the shrubs, the trees, the plants in its photosynthesis process that produce oxygen, and the food and everything that comes forth, ladies and gentlemen. And Allah is speaking, Quran 16:1-14. So eat of what Allah has given you lawful, and good things and give thanks to Allah's favor if He it is that you serve. Give thanks. Let me read it back. Yes. So eat of what Allah has given you, lawful and good things, and give thanks for Allah's favor if He it is that you serve. Quran 16:114. And surely the Lord is full of grace to men, but of most of them do not give thanks. Quran 27:73. He is full of grace, forgiveness, love, care for us, but we never say thank you. Some of us, very few. Quran 4:147. Why should Allah chastise you if you're grateful and believe? And Allah is the ever multiplier of rewards, knowing. So why will Allah chastise us if we are grateful and we believe? And that will, of course, multiply our rewards. And I move on. And when your Lord made it known, if you're grateful, I'll give you more. And if you are ungrateful, my chastisement is surely severe. 14:7 of the Holy Quran. If you're grateful, He will give you more. And if you're ungrateful, He will chastise you. Be grateful. Think. Love. Forgive. Thank you. Thank God. The Quran shows us again and again that man should go through life with a positive attitude. What is the reason for this positive attitude? Does Allah need our gratitude? Many of us find it difficult to be grateful, particularly when the circumstances are not to our liking. Others, however, have everything they wish for and still they are ungrateful. However, have everything they wish for and still are ungrateful. Our society tends to think in terms of scarcity. We focus our minds on things we do not have instead of being grateful for the things which we have. By being grateful, we can experience Allah and open ourselves to His favors. He does not need our prayers. We pray to help ourselves. He doesn't need our gratefulness. We thank Him so that we may enjoy more. Muslims often remember Allah by His attributes, dhikr. The objective of this is that we can experience the feelings connected with the dhikr, that we understand these feelings and that we integrate them into our behavior. One of these attributes of Allah is a shakur, which, among others, meaning being very grateful. Shakur. You must be grateful. That's an attribute of Allah. One of His powers that we can call upon, which is gratefulness to God. We can call upon that power for favors. A grateful heart attracts abundance and provisions from Allah like a magnet. So the more you're grateful, the more you attract the bounties of God, both material and spiritually. Imagine how you feel when you have given something to a grateful person and how you feel when someone is not grateful for your gifts. It is better to have a grateful attitude towards Allah, as He, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, has the most to offer to us. Yet it is still difficult for many people to be grateful or to stay grateful. Others do not really believe that Allah is able to provide us with everything we need for a sincere, happy life in abundance. Some people believe that. The first thing is to be grateful for everything we have and see Allah's presence in these things I mentioned to you: the trees, the flowers, the plants, the waters, the air. Also, when things are not going as well as we would like, there is still a lot to be grateful for. Gratitude makes our lives better, fuller, richer, and far more wonderful. We should release our prosperity and fortune again and again till gratitude becomes an integral part of our being. What we strive for, where we put our energy, that is what we will receive. Quran 53:39. We have a choice Choose gratitude and abundance for all the good things in life. The importance of knowledge. Are those who know and those who do not know alike? They say all men are alike, but the Quran asks you a question. Are those who know and those who do not know alike? Only men of understanding mind. Quran 39:9. Some sayings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah, about knowledge. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Excessive knowledge is better than excessive praying. It is better to teach knowledge 1 hour in the night than to pray the whole night. This is Prophet Muhammad's words when it comes to knowledge. Pray, but don't depend upon prayer alone. Give thanks, be charitable, educate, and seek knowledge. One learned man is harder on the devil than 1,000 ignorant worshippers. So the devil is afraid of an educated man. Then you have 1,000 worshippers just worshipping. Who are learned? Who are learned? Who are learned, my friend? You tell me. Those who practice what they know. The knowledge from which no benefit is derived is like a treasure from which no charity is bestowed in the way of the Lord. It's like the treasure of charity. Honest earnings, faith, patience, righteousness, truthfulness lead us to honest earnings. If someone tries to gain earnings in a dishonest way, he will lose innumerable good qualities. The Holy Quran stressing this point in many verses, among them, and I will quote, Quran 2:188. And swallow up not your property among yourselves by false means, nor seek to gain access thereby to the judges, so that you may swallow up a part of the property of men wrongfully while you know. Do not try to corrupt the judges. It is let some people do these things so that you may get property which you don't deserve. Quran 2:188. Quran 4:29-30. O you who believe, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Devour not property among yourselves by illegal methods, except that it be by trading by your mutual consent. And kill not your people, surely Allah is ever merciful to you. The Holy Quran 83:1-3. Woe to the cheaters, who when they take the measure of their dues from men, take it fully. And when they measure out to others or weigh out for them, they give less than is due. They want everything that is due to them, but they give less when they have to give out the due. Quran 83:1-3. The Holy Prophet too, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, has said, the honest businessman will share in the reward of the prophets. When running our business, no means are allowed which are unworthy of us, and the merchant who thinks that falsehood and fraud are allowed only cheats himself. He might have some material benefits, but his spiritual self loses because he has no trust in the providence of the Lord, the sustainer of mankind. So he might gain something when you cheat physically, but spiritually you lose. And then eventually it might turn into disease. In the book, I have a little poem by Mother Teresa. I would like to read it. Mother Teresa. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, They may be jealous, be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you have got anyway. You will see in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Mother Teresa. Forgiveness. The Holy Quran considers forgiveness as a virtue which is very pleasing to Allah. Although paying the wrongdoer back in the same measure in which he committed a wrong can have a positive effect on him, we should always have the person's improvement in mind as the main goal. Forgiveness is good indeed only if we apply it with good understanding and according to the circumstances in such a way that the wrongdoer will not consider it a deed of disregard or cowardice. Being unjust is a wrong attitude towards the enemy. The Quran leaves to us to strike the golden mean. What is the golden mean? Which will cause our senses of responsibility to be developed further and further. It tells us the following, and I read and I quote Quran 3, 133 to 134. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And hasten to the forgiveness from your Lord in the garden as wide as the heavens and the earth. It is prepared for those who keep their duty, those who spend in ease as well as in adversity, and those who restrain their anger and pardon men. And Allah loves the doers of good to others. Quran 16, 126 to 128. And if you take your turn, then punish with the like of that with which you were afflicted. But if you show patience, it is certainly best for the patient. And the patient and thy patience is not but by the help of Allah. And grieve not for them, nor be in distress for what they plan. Surely Allah is with those who keep their duty and those who do good to others. So if you want your vengeance, make sure you get back your vengeance, or what you had done. So you get back the parts of what was inflicted on you, but it's best to show patience. And the recompense of evil is punishment like it. But whoever forgives and amends, his reward is with Allah. Surely he loves not the wrongdoers, and whoever defends himself after his being oppressed. It is against whom there is no way of blame. The way of blame is only against those who oppress men and revolt in the earth unjustly. For such there is a painful chastisement, and whoever is patient and forgives, that surely is an affair of great resolution. Quran 42, 40 to 43. And whoever is patient and forgive, that surely is an affair of great resolution. Practice encouragement. Encouragement for good and better, not for evil. Speak good things to all men. Quran 2:83. To God do ascend the goodly works, and he exalts the goodly deed. Quran 35:10. Dr. Alfred Adler, the great psychologist, had an experience when he was a boy. He got out of bed, start learning arithmetic. So his teacher became convinced that Adler was stupid because he got out of bed, start learning arithmetic. His teacher thought he was stupid when it comes to mathematics. The teacher told Adler's parents that the boy was dumb, and also told them not to expect much from him. His parents were convinced that the teacher's evaluation was correct. Therefore, Adler passively accepted the assessment that they made of his abilities and his grades in mathematics proved that they were correct. However, one day, he had a sudden flash of insight and thought. He saw how to work a problem the teacher had put on the board that none of the other pupils could solve. He raised his hand and announced that he would like to do the problem. The student, even the teacher, laughed at this. He became indignant. He strode to the blackboard and solved the problem perfectly, much to everyone's amazement. And at that moment, he realized that he could understand mathematics. He had been handed an unreal negative self-evaluation, and he had believed it and performed on the basis of that assessment. So if you don't encourage people, they will perform accordingly. Many of us have done the very smart thing. Someone has told us that our abilities are limited or that our dreams are unreachable. We have accepted that without question. And we go through life unhappy and unfulfilled. We become estranged from ourselves simply because we believe what people have told us about ourselves. Every one of us, young and old alike, needs to be encouraged. To encourage someone is to put courage into them. To discourage is to take courage out of them. It costs nothing to put courage into another. To speak a kind word, to let them know you appreciate them. To tell them you believe in them, that you admire them, and so on. That is taken from Dick Innes, www.divinehumanism.org. Dick Innes on www.divinehumanism.org. And so now, I'll give you one last one as we're approaching closing up time. Good deeds. Good deeds are the evidence of living faith. Those who do not do good deeds should know that their faith is barren and that their spiritual plant withers, because good deeds in connection to faith are just as fruits in connection to a living tree. The Quran emphasizes this and stimulates Muslims to do as much good as possible. We can find this theme everywhere in the Quran, where faith is dealt with, such as Quran 4:122. And those who believe and do good, we shall make them into gardens in which rivers flow, to abide therein forever. Quran 31:22. And whoever submits himself to Allah and does good to others, he indeed takes hold of the firmest handle. Quran 42:26. And he answers those who believe and do good deeds and gives them more out of his grace, and for the disbelievers is severe chastisement. And let me read that back. And he answers those who believe and do good deeds and give them more out of his grace. Do good deeds, more charity, more gentleness, and more gratefulness. And for the disbelievers, it is a severe chastisement. 42:26. Quran 39:10. Say, O my servants who believe, keep your duty to your Lord, for those who do good in this world is good. Quran 18:46. Wealth and children are an adornment of the life of this world, but the ever abiding, the good works are better with thy Lord in reward and better in hope. 18:46. The Holy Quran and its teachings have given you the quotes. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, those are some beautiful knowledge and wisdom that I shared with you that comes from the spiritual notes to enrich our life. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Those of you who like to have your water, your medicine, your medication, those of you who like to have your baby bottle with milk, and you say that you like when I recite this little prayer, this little dua, that you feel cured, you feel healed, your baby drink the milk better, your sick parents feel better. But everything is in the hands of Allah. And only He can cure and only He can heal, but I am just a servant. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أستغفر الله ربي من كل ذنب وأتوب إليه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر. Bless them. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Heal and help. Oh Allah, help the children who are studying and help those who don't have the skill to become doctors and judges and lawyers, but to become bright in their businesses and wise in their trades. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hasbi Allah. Hasbi Allah. Hasbi Allah. Hasbi Allah. Hasbi Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La ilaha illallah. I touch you, brothers and sisters. You say you like to touch me. La ilaha illallah. Remember, electricity lives. So I'm actually near you. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Wallahu Akbar. Walillahil hamd. Allah bless one and all. Bless my President, Excellency Dr. Irfan Ali. Bless the government of this country, Almighty Allah. Bless the opposition with some wisdom. They can see some knowledge and they can show their SOPs so that we can build and speak the truth. Bless the sky to see the earth, our children, our family, our dead relatives, all who are listening, and all my family and all my future generations to come. Grant them peace and success. All my teachers who are alive and those who have passed on. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Ashhadu Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق